What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. Let's go! It's the weekly wrap up where we give you the news. Break it down bite size so it's easier to consume. Discussing the hottest game. Let's start out what's coming soon. Is it real or is rumor? Homie, that's up to you. Fire or trash reaction. Live viewers call in. No cap conversation. We going all in. It's the weekly wrap up, so enjoy the show. You're now rocking with the best. Let the good times roll. Come on. What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD back with another episode of the weekly wrap up. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. And tonight is a crazy episode. We've got, let's see, Wonder Woman. We've got Spider-Man 2. We've got Twisted Metal, Onepiece Gear 5. Evo. Looks like the homie's gonna be sharing his love for Mortal Kombat 1 because they just dropped a Reptile trailer. It's about to be a crazy episode. So thank you guys for tuning in and welcome to the show. What's good with the Hoarder Gamer? How you doing, Mr. Robert Huff? Without further ado, let me bring in the co-host of the show, the man himself, Mr. J. Coon Prime. What's good with it, sir?
What up?
Man,
True to form in Evo fashion, literally minutes before we go live, they drop a trailer I got to make a video on.
Bro, it's going crazy with MK1 right now. I can't. I'm gonna let you take care of that when we talk the Evo talk. So yeah. So we are definitely going to be talking about Onepiece Gear 5. So we had to bring at least one of the biggest fans I know of One Piece on the show, and that is Masuki is okay. How are you doing tonight, madam?
I'm back, bitches.
Okay. Welcome back, I guess. How you doing tonight? You good? Everything gravy?
Oh wait, hold on.
Okay, I think we've lost Suki in the multiverse right now. Oh, she's got her Oda is best girl outfit
Best girl.
on. Oh yeah, that's really a psycho person if you ever watch film, right? Yeah, she's worse than Wanda. But anyway,
She really is, but still, I love her.
Let's get the show started. Let's talk some Wonder Woman returns first. Gal Gadot's or Gadot's. I think it's Gadot, but I'm gonna say Gadot and Gadot at the same time because that's just what we're doing to be respectful. Miss Gal put out a message recently, or I don't know if she put it out recently or not, but people got a hold of it recently. And that message was pretty much Wonder Woman 3 is in the works. It's not the same as, the Patty, whatever her name is, version. It's a whole new thing with James Gunn at the helm. Snyder fans react to that. What are your thoughts as Gal Gadot returns as Wonder Woman in the new DCU, Mr. J. Coon Prime?
I'm honestly really shocked that they're still going forward with her after they've cut so many people already.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to keep going with her, number one, I can't imagine anybody else playing Wonder Woman at this point. Please, for the love of God, be better than Wonder Woman 84.
Oh.
Please. I'm begging.
Suki, your thoughts on Miss Gadot returning as Wonder Woman? What you think?
Did she say it was going to be Wonder Woman 3, or did she just say that they're working on a Wonder Woman with her?
They're working on it. We're saying Wonder Woman 3, but we know it's obviously not the same.
As long as it's as good or better than 1984, we're good.
As good? So you liked 84?
I loved 84.
Ugh.
I thought 84 was probably the most comic booky the DC universe has felt yet.
You don't know much about Maxwell Lord, do you?
I didn't say they nailed the characters. I just said that what I love the most is that the opening mall scene with Wonder Woman, where she is disarming the entire event without hurting anybody, and the entire movie, every fight she's in, she's trying not to hurt anybody.
Oh, I mean, that part's fine. I'm just
That's the only time they've done that.
I'm talking about the massively gross misuse of a character. Like, I've seen some bad portrayals, but that one took the cake.
That was not. They just named him Maxwell Lord. He
Yeah,
wasn't.
that was
Yeah.
not Maxwell Lord.
My only issue was the whole well, she basically raped a dude. That's my issue.
The Snyder fans are livid about this decision. They're like, I mean, you know how Snyder fans are. That the DCEU is their property. That's nobody else's property but theirs. And they're saying that you can't fire Henry Cavill and fire Batfleck and keep Gal Gadot and Amanda Waller. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to hear y'all reactions on how they're kind of just taking the Snyderverse as their own little thing, and they got demands, bro. J. Coon Prime, talk to me.
Well, first and foremost, you didn't fire Batfleck. He quit. Like that man is tired, and I mean, not to get personal, but look at who he's dating. Can you blame him? Secondly,
okay.
I promise you, I so promise you, Henry Cavill will be just fine without Superman. And here's why. He now gets to go frolic in a meadow with his first love, which is Warhammer 40K.
Oh.
So that's what he's working on now. He's working on a Warhammer franchise. So he'll be fine. Okay. And if you don't believe me, go watch The Witcher.
I believe it. I believe it.
And lastly, all right, I'm just going to say it. Y'all don't own shit. And DC doesn't owe you shit. If they want to turn the universe up on its elbows and head and then right back down on its ass, it's within their right to do so. You don't own it. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Suki. Snyder fans are livid. That's their property, and you can't hire Gal Gadot and Amanda Waller and fire Batfleck and Henry Cavill. Talk to me.
I mean, what's the newsworthy part? When are they not livid?
They're like Smash players. They're always angry.
I've never once seen it where they're like celebrating.
Snyderverse cut release. They celebrated hard.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Hard. Henry Cavill returns as Superman for Black Adam. They celebrated hard, and then got those hopes yanked right from under their feet.
But, they had to. That was the only good part of the film.
Yeah.
Like y'all know I'm going for the throat.
Y'all are going way hard tonight.
Tired.
Like, y'all know me. I can look for the good in most things, but yeah, I got to give it to J. Coon on that one.
Whoa! They're going in tonight. Okay, James Gunn. Okay, let me. I'm gonna keep it 100. Snyder fans might hate me for this. I don't really care. Y'all see all of this Marvel stuff back here. I do represent the Flash and Superman and Superman, but it's mostly Marvel for me. So y'all can kill me. I'm not even tripping. But I'm gonna keep it 100. Man of Steel was an okay movie. I think the death of Jonathan Kent, the father, was one of the silliest things I've ever seen in my life, and I didn't like it when I watched it. I still don't like it to this day, but the overall character was okay. When you really look back at it, it's not the Superman we know. It's the Superman from the New 52, and if you look at it like that, you're like, okay, that's why he's so violent, that's why he's so rash, yada yada yada. Okay, cool. Batman versus Superman. That was complete trash. I'm sorry. It was complete trash. I did not like it at all. I thought it was horrid as a movie to try to bring all of these different characters. It just did not work for me. I'm sorry. It is just what it is. The Snyder cut of that was a lot better, actually, but it still wasn't a great movie. Sorry.
I'm a piggyback off that for a second, like, because I'm in agreement. Like, Batman v Superman, the theatrical cut was all right. At absolute best, it was just all right. the director's cut was substantially better. And I agree with something that my dad said a long time ago, because I said the same thing about the Ben Affleck Daredevil. Theatrical cut was trash, but the director's cut was actually fantastic. If you need a director's cut in order to get your point across, you already fumbled. And the only exception to that rule, and I will die on this hill, I don't give a damn, I've been on this hill for 30 years. The only exception to that rule is Blade Runner.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what's the other one? Wonder Woman, the first one. It was
now that one I dug. Yeah.
It was an okay movie. It wasn't bad. It wasn't on the level of what we were watching at the time coming out of Marvel. I'm gonna just keep it 100. It was good, but it's not a movie that I will go back and watch. Just keeping it real with you. Then there was, what was it? The Justice League movie. With the CGI mouth and the...
Here's my thing with the Justice League movie is like, it was a perfectly adequate movie. It was fine. But that's the problem. When I'm watching the Justice League, I shouldn't just be like, that was an alright movie.
It's the Justice.
When I left the Avengers for the first time, I turned around and bought another ticket to go see the next showing.
Let's go. Right. You shouldn't walk out of a Justice League movie when you've got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, freaking Cyborg. You know what I'm saying? You've had Lex Luthor in the movie.
They all came together. Oh my God, it was amazing. I loved it. Instead, it was like, it happened. It was a good movie.
That movie was not.
The biggest
Snyder cut. The Snyder cut. I'm not gonna lie. The Snyder cut was fire.
Yeah,
the Snyder cut was fire, bro.
Snyder cut was terrible.
The biggest problem with Justice League was the promotion.
Yeah.
Unite the Seven. Unite the Seven. Unite the Seven was the promo for Justice League, and then WB refused to let them unite the Seven. Because guess who number 7 was supposed to be?
Green Lantern.
It was even in the trailers.
They were going to bring in Jessica?
Here, my lord. No, they were going to bring in John.
Oh,
who's that?
John Stewart.
I'm just kidding with you. I
know. I actually liked the
John Stewart's my favorite Lantern.
The Snyder cut. It was
Kyle Rayner, but John Stewart is number 2 for me.
Aquaman. I actually thought Aquaman was a phenomenal movie. That movie actually surprised me. I went in thinking Batman versus Superman and left out of there like, okay, that was
the closest they got to that MCU feel.
Yeah,
because it was the first time I felt like I'm in their universe now.
Shazam. It was fun for the kids. Shazam as a whole was just like.
Shazam was what would Power Rangers would be like if they were owned by DC.
That is my least liked DC movie. I don't know why. I still don't, because what I usually do is I can watch. I don't know if you've ever seen Cinema Wins, like Everything Great About, and they'll do like the breakdowns. And I'm like, okay, well I'll go back and rewatch it and have that viewpoint. Maybe I'll enjoy it more. I cannot stick to that movie. I hate that movie so much.
If you like Cinema Wins and Cinema Sins, go watch Pitch Meetings.
Pitch Meetings is fun.
Yeah,
the original Suicide Squad. The original Suicide Squad. I thought that was an okay movie. It was fun. It was cool. I watched it twice actually. It was, you got, what's her name? Margot Robbie. You got Will Smith. That was a cool movie. It wasn't great. I didn't like the ending. With that was just silly, and they kind of made Harley too much of a superhero in that portion. But it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a great entry to the DCEU, but it wasn't a bad movie. And then you had Wonder Woman 1984. Some of y'all like that movie.
Birds of Prey.
Oh God, Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey was fine. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't good either.
Birds of Prey was bad. I'm so sorry.
Wasn't bad. It was.
How are you going to have Birds of Prey and Batgirl's nowhere to be found?
Birds of Prey wasn't good to me. I'm sorry. It lost me like in the first 15 minutes. Like just the going back and this could have happened or this would have. I was just like, wait, what is going on? No, this is
how are you going to take one of the most hard as nails characters ever conceived in the Batman universe in Roman Sionis and just turn him into the world's biggest bitch?
Bruh.
Like, just how?
Bruh. Yeah.
They did it with the Joker.
We don't talk about that Joker. Oh, God. We don't talk about that Joker.
He was fine in the Snyder cut. I liked what they did with him.
I wasn't talking about that Joker. I was talking about that stupid Joker movie.
Oh, she's talking about Joaquin Phoenix.
We're going to talk about that in a few. We're going to get to that.
You know what you invite when you invite me.
Wow.
Actually,
I forgot
you know what?
This is hot take, Suki. Oh my God.
I'm actually going to stand with Suki on that one. Joker sucked.
Okay, looks like I'm doing the show solo tonight, y'all. So
I hated Joker.
Can I get a clip of that, please?
I'm watching a film of a character I have physically hated for a very long time.
Oh, okay. So you got a personal issue.
I have a personal.
You know what? You need to stop that. Anyway, what else came out in that DCEU? It was what, Wonder Woman 84. Y'all kind of like, I thought that movie was silly. It was just silly to me. It was better than the first one to me, but it was silly. Then what was the last thing they dropped? Was that it?
The Suicide Squad, which was James Gunn, and then Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
The Suicide Squad was phenomenal.
Yes,
dude. I was like, okay, if they continue this route with their movies, and this is what I was thinking at the time. There's no way the DCEU was losing. You know what I mean? It was that good. Like, that movie it's got so many great parts to it that, like, it's to me, it's on top with like the best of the best Marvel movies. To kid you not, it's just that damn good. Then they dropped. What was the next thing they dropped right after Suicide Squad?
Shazam.
No, something was in between.
No, Black Adam.
Black freaking Adam, which is a movie that should not have been made to me.
I'm not a hero.
You're not an actor.
The hero.
Yeah.
Bro, Black Adam was bad. The only saving grace in that whole movie was Henry Cavill. And don't get it twisted. Hawkman was fire to me. His scenes were fire, but they were ruined by Dwayne Johnson. I kid you not. I'm sorry.
Dr. Fate was good.
Yes, okay. Dr. Fate was the best part of that film. Like, it baffles me.
Henry Cavill was the best part of the film. Sorry.
That's true, yeah. How does somebody who literally made a career acting out a character live in front of everyone fumble the ball that bad? Like, we've been working on Black Adam for 15 years. Yeah, it shows, because this feels like it was made in the 90s.
Bruh. When you think about it, it does feel like a 90s. Then what did we have after that? We had Shazam, Fury of the Gods. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was so thrown off by the marketing that I could watch it for free right now, and I refuse to even watch it. I think it's just a waste of my time.
I liked it, okay, because I like the lightheartedness of Shazam, but the problem was it was riding right off that coattails of the James Gunn announcement. So everything I saw, I knew it wasn't going anywhere. So why do I care?
See, that makes sense. Sense. Did you even watch Shazam Fury of the Gods?
No, I didn't see it.
Let's see, I didn't even think so. Then we had The Flash, which I was actually stoked for. Y'all know that's my guy. The Flash is my dude. And the movie was literally just okay. Some bad CGI, a little bit of bad writing. Ezra Miller starring in it by, that. He actually did a good job when you really think about it, because he's playing two completely different Barry Allens, which he did a really good job of portraying them. I just don't think either one of them are Barry Allen. The people he played, they were more like a Wally West type of character.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But
it wasn't a total loss. The Flash movie finally gave Green Lantern a win by not being able to outgross one of the worst DC movies ever made.
I wouldn't. I'm sorry. Green Lantern is better in a few of these movies. I
know, and that's saying something,
bro. Oh,
I enjoyed Green Lantern.
I have the burden of knowledge, Suki. I can never, as a diehard Green Lantern fan, ever like that movie.
That's just
fair.
wild.
Yeah.
Then we've got Blue Beetle, which is it's like the final stage of DCEU bringing into the DCEU.
Yeah.
I think Blue Beetle's actually going to be a pretty good movie. It has that feel to it. You know what I mean? That, okay, I don't know I personally know a lot about Blue Beetle, but a lot of people don't. It just feels like when Iron Man was dropping, like a lot of people knew who Iron Man was, but they didn't know a lot about Iron Man. I think they picked the right person to play this role, and I think James Gunn can piggyback off of this particular movie. I think, but at the same, what do you think? What do you think, Blue Beetle? You think he's gonna be able to do something with it, or you think it's gonna crash and burn, hit another Flash?
I think it will do slightly better than the Flash, but I think ultimately, because of how trendy it is to hate on DC, will sadly be Blue Beetle's undoing at the box office.
Suki, Blue Beetle thoughts?
I mean, Gunn hasn't steered me wrong yet. Like, did anybody know who the hell Peacemaker was before Gunn?
Really?
Yeah.
Weasel, Rat Girl. Rat catcher, I should say.
So yeah, I definitely see him taking Blue Beetle and running with it. If anyone can do it, it's him. Also, I want my season 2 of Peacemaker.
You'll get it in the form of a show called Waller.
Now, we just listed pretty much every movie in the DCEU, right? And how many movies that you really say that you enjoyed and watched multiple times? I think it was Aquaman, one of the Snyder cuts, Wonder Woman, and Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad. That's it out of that whole franchise. Now, when you take a look at the other DC movies, the Outworld movies, the Elseworld movies, like The Batman, that movie did $1 billion. That movie is praised. Like it's nowhere near Snyder Cut.
And I have watched The Batman at least 5 times.
And it did numbers.
It's so good.
The Joker, I know you two don't like The Joker, but that's another $1 billion movie. I actually watched that movie a couple of times. I thought it was a real psychological F word. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, that's crazy. And it's believable at the same time. Like, you don't really get that too much from a comic movie. Like, yo, that's actually believable that somebody could do this. You know what I mean? Like, boom.
And that, I think, ultimately, that's one of the biggest things that I think hang up a lot of people when it comes, especially when you start comparing DC to Marvel. Stan Lee himself has said that he has always tried to root his characters in some form of reality, that there's some form of explanation to why they do what they do and why they are the way they are, where DC very much will pull the fantasy card and play it unapologetically. They're metahuman. Or even Batman. Because, I mean, like, peak human, whatever you want to call it, or there was even a whole situation of, like, Batman doesn't actually sleep. He just puts himself in a meditative state for 5 hours, and that's supposed to give him a full night's rest. And I'm just like,
Batman can do anything, yo. Like,
he survived a fall from space, and I'm like, no.
And walked it off like it was nothing. I saw that panel. I was like, is that Bruce or a cyborg? You know what I mean? Like, what? But it seems like everything that was outside of that DCEU Snyderverse was doing well. The animated team was killing it with the whole New 52 thing. Then they had the Titans movies. Their world was like awesome for DC fans. Has nothing to do with the Snyderverse. So to you Snyderverse fans, I'm gonna say this: let other people cook, man. Snyder did his thing. It was not received well by the masses. you guys that love him and love what he did with it, that's cool. But in factuality, his movies did the worst out of any other DC movies, period. Everything, if you even go back to George Clooney's Batman, that movie sucked, but it still brought in numbers. You know what I mean? It brought in people. Like, yeah, the nipply Batman from Val Kilmer, that was a clown show. But guess what? It made money. You know what I mean? Zack Snyder, y'all love this universe to death, but it doesn't make any money. Nobody else is feeling like y'all feel. And I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this. Y'all have the right to feel how y'all want to feel, but I'm gonna just say, let James Gunn cook, man.
I think the biggest thing with Snyder fans, because like I was there when Snyder first hit the scene, and like he struck gold with his remake for Dawn of the Dead. To this day, one of the best zombie movies ever made. And then lightning struck twice when he got put in charge of 300.
Ooh, that's a good ass movie.
Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Didn't he also do Watchmen?
I didn't like Watchmen.
He did, which sucked, except for
I didn't like Watchmen.
director's cut. Because that's what Snyder does, is you have to wait for the director's cut to make it make sense.
Now, I will say this.
Sucks at his job.
And I will only say this in the sense of Watchmen, because if you ever get an inkling to read Watchmen, don't. Like, it's like reading through the Bible. It's like someone going, you should read Dune, the book. Don't do it. Just watch the movie. Reading the book versus what they showed in the movie, honest to God, I prefer the movie, because as much as you say it doesn't make sense, it made a hell of a lot more sense than the book did.
Oh no, the book.
I'm gonna just say this much: if y'all really want a good adaptation of The Watchmen, watch the Watchmen TV show. I think it aired on Max, because that makes the book. It doesn't deal anything with the movie.
It's everything post book.
Yeah. Right, but it makes that book make sense, actually. Like, okay, that happens in like the first 2 episodes. They literally clear that up for you. Okay, this is what happened. This is why Mr. Manhattan did this. Yada 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 yada. Breaks it all the way down to the evil dude who was trying to, with the starfish, instead of blowing stuff up, he was using the, you know what I mean? That made sense like a mug. I was just like, okay, cool. So if y'all want a good adaptation of that, watch the TV show instead of the movie.
The point I'm making about Watchmen, though, is whether or not it made sense, it made bank.
Money.
Yeah.
But he did not. Like I said, a lot of people were not okay with Man of Steel. Like, they thought it was an okay movie. It was not. It wasn't the Superman that they were used to. It wasn't the Superman story that they were used to. And that's because the New 52 didn't do well. It wasn't a hot selling thing. They had to reboot New 52 real quick. You know what I'm saying? Bring back all of the old stuff, because it wasn't the characters that you grew up on. It wasn't. Their Superman was too violent. Their Batman was killing people. Wonder Woman was like chopping heads off all the time for no damn reason. That's what she did. That was just her thing in that universe. So it was like pretty much the Ultimate Universe. The only good thing came out of the Ultimate Universe was Miles Morales. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? So that's how people treated the New 52. And he made a whole franchise off of something not everybody was really loving from the jump anyway. That's just my take on it.
Good take.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's talk Twisted Metal. Did you get to watch any of the Twisted Metal yet, Jacob Prime?
I have not, but it's on the to-do list.
Okay, we're gonna put Suki up here because I know Suki watched the whole thing.
I loved it. I grew up on Twisted Metal, so I was like, okay, all right, I'll give this a chance. It's all right. And to all the people that are like, they're gonna ruin it or whatever, like, let's be real here. Twisted Metal didn't have the greatest of stories. Didn't
the story change with almost each version of the game?
Yeah, they put enough there to explain why they're in the vehicles. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Your thoughts and opinion on the show? Like, for me, I'm gonna go first, so you can just follow me up. So,
Go ahead.
I only watched Twisted Metal because you and Pewter were going back and forth on the timeline about it. Like it was that good, and I was like,
What?
Twisted.
We go back and forth on the timeline together. We don't know.
I was like, Twisted Metal, really? The PS2 game it's really that good. I saw the first trailer for it, and I was just like, yeah, I can skip this. It's fine. I'll watch Anthony Mackie when he returns as Captain America. But y'all were talking about how this show was really damn good, and I'm like, okay, let me go check it out. And I watched the first episode. 5 minutes in, I'm like, I'm not going to like this because Anthony Mackie was just so animated, right? He was doing too much, but the show within that 5 minutes kind of conformed around his craziness, and it built a world within 5 minutes of watching. And you're like, that's why he's acting like this, and it makes freaking sense.
Yeah.
And from episode 1 to episode 10, I was in all the damn way. It's not like the most brilliant writing ever. Don't get me twisted. It's a stupid show, but it's like a stupid good show. Like you want to watch this silliness happen. Like, dude, you really getting caught every episode? Yes, I'm getting caught every episode, and this is why I'm getting caught. And it made sense. It was like, it's almost, don't take offense to this, Suki, but it's almost like a little bit of Oda seeped into that writing because they like give you so much that comes back around. Not too many shows give you stuff that you come back to. And pretty much every episode you're like, oh, okay, that's tight. And then with the callbacks from the video game, the music that they incorporated with it, to be honest with you guys, I'm going to give this show an 8 out of 10. It was that damn good. Suki, your thoughts and opinions on the show?
I mean, you nailed it. Like, from the get-go, I was fully invested. I was like, I love this. Because, like I said, the games were stupid, silly games. Like, you get in the car and you just shoot people up and have fun. That's it. That's all it was.
Yes.
So, it's a silly, stupid show, and I absolutely love it, and I need more. So they better be making a season 2.
The way they ended, they cannot end it the way they ended it. Like, spoiler alerts, we're just going all over in on Twisted Metal. If you haven't watched it, even with the spoilers, it's still that damn good to watch it because every episode is self-contained but world building, if that makes any sense. Like I said, a little bit of Oda has creeped it. The dude, Oda is a genius.
It's East Blue.
Exactly.
I heard they hinted at what's his name, Axel, the guy that was like surgically attached to the 2 giant wheels.
They hinted at everybody,
even Mr. Grimm, because I played Mr. Grimm.
I'm in, bro.
Grimm, Dollface was there. Axel, it was so good.
Poison, whatever her name. I can't even remember her name. The one that used to shoot those little green and purple smoke clouds, slow your car down and stuff. She was in.
What about Spectre, the guy that drove the hearse and literally shot a ghost at you?
Is that who that? The pink the pink hearse.
He would drive.
Oh my God,
he would drive.
That's what I want.
And like the black ghost would travel across the ground, hit your car, and make the car explode.
They didn't do that, but they hinted at his character in the. I didn't even realize that's who that was, yo.
Twisted Metal 2, I played pretty religiously. Twisted Metal Black, I also played pretty religiously. 3, 4, and the PS3 reboot, were dog shit. But
Black is the only
2
one
and Black were fantastic.
The most, because at that time it was the only game I had. So.
The ending was peak to me. How they set up the actual Twisted Metal gaming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The first season is pretty much the story of John Doe, and he's a milkman, which he's a delivery person. The world is literally, it's apocalyptic world. There's cities that are there, but they're walled off, and everything on the outside is a free for all. So you kind of, you're in your car, and it feels like a long-term version of the game. But the ending, which was so peak, they literally name dropped it. It was like, yeah, you're about to get your ass in Twisted Metal type of shit. You know what I mean? it gave me goosebumps. That's
they
how
have
good
to
it
do
was.
a season 2 because when they end it up, you can't end it there.
They showed, like the track. They showed how the players would be set up. They showed what's the clown? I can't think of his name right now. Sweet Tooth back and everything. Bro, it's fire, dude. Like, if you haven't watched it, I'm literally suggesting watch Twisted Metal. The show didn't take itself seriously, and it worked so perfectly for it. Like I said, within the first 5 minutes, you're like, "Oh my God, Anthony Mackie, you're being too silly. You're doing too much." But the world itself conforms around that silliness, and it, like I said, it doesn't take like. And there's one part in the first episode where he's like in this garage, and there's cars and shit shooting at him, and he hits like a trash can, and it flows across his windshield, and it's literally the PS2 Twisted Metal game that like freeze frames on it real good. You're like, what the? And he's looking at it like, what the fuck? Literally, bro. So you like right there, you're like, okay, this is not about to be.
My favorite part was the windshield wipers. When he shoots the guy on the hood and the windshield wipers, and he's like, look at that, the way they clean.
You gotta watch, Jay. I promise you, you won't. Once you start it, you're not going to stop. And they're only like 30-minute episodes. They're not.
It goes quick, and Peacock is like very cheap.
Who I mean, I don't even have Peacock, and I watched it. So,
like, I'm definitely going to be going for it. I'm just like, I'm hip deep in binging Futurama. Like, I just hit season 8 today. So once I finish that up, because they're only up to like season 11. Once I finish that up, Twisted Metal is next on the list.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, real quick commercial break. Y'all get y'all peoples in here because we definitely about to talk about Onepiece Gear 5 episode. So get your folks in here right now. Make sure you guys share, like this video. My homie gonna tell y'all how and when and why to do that right now.
What's shaking, people? It's your girl Spring. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and share the video. It's an easy way to help the squad grow and give you more fire content, shows, and events. This is your DSG brand ambassador, Spring, and you know the motto, let the good times roll.
All right. Thank you, Spring, for doing that. We greatly appreciate you, Miss Ambassador. Gear 5 episode number 1071. Wano arc. Luffy reaches his peak. Joy Boy has returned. Now, I'm gonna go first because I know Suki has some things to say. She's literally been waiting on this for, I think, a year and a half. Just the hype.
Ever since I read it, I was like, oh my God, so many people, and I'm going to be here for it.
So, for me, Gear 5 is the whole reason I started my journey on One Piece. I mean, I would see all of the tweets from, people like My Serenity, Riz, Fez, Sook, just so many different people tweeting about One Piece. And I never really cared about it. I'm a Dragon Ball, Bleach person. Those other animes don't mean nothing to me. So I started my journey. I was like, okay, this Gear 5 thing looks really dope. It looks like he's super powerful, like he's reached his peak. I said that before I even knew that was a thing, right? So I watched One Piece all the way up into this thing, and I've enjoyed my journey. I got about 100 episodes in before I liked it, which was the Alabasta arc. And the show literally is probably one of the best written things that I've ever read in my life. It's that damn good. No, it still doesn't replace Dragon Ball or Bleach for me. It's number 3 for sure, but it's really that damn good. So this build up to Gear 5 was a lot for me personally. I was like, okay, I've seen the Snake Man, I've seen Bounce Man, I've seen Tank Man, I've seen Red Gear 2, which looks awesome. Goofy looking Gear 3, which I don't really like, but it gets the job done. And he's always, when he gets his power up, he's always, in his shonen form. He's ready, he's like, I'm about to kick some anus. Gear 5, I'm like, okay, he's got red eyes, white hair, Beast Gohan looking type of monster. I'm like, yes, let's go. And I'm in a Discord watching with Fez, he's hosting, and it's a bunch of people in there, and everybody's so hype. And I'm just like, this dude just turned into Tom and Jerry. And I'm so confused. Like, I'm really like, I'm expecting like this massive power. Like when we got to Ultra Instinct, it was like, but you know what? I gotta say this: Ultra Instinct was explained, which made the hype even crazier. Oda and Toonami tricked us with this Gear 5. They only, when you go back and look at the preview for Gear 5, it makes me laugh now. Thinking about it, thinking back to it. So you look at these previews, and it's only the cuts where dude is beasting, right? You like, whoa, yes, this is my peak. I'm like, oh God, he's about. Then he turns into Tom and freaking Jerry, and I'm watching this, and I can hear everybody in the Discord is like going nuts, and I'm looking at the screen like they have the same Looney Tunes sound bites. Like, what the fuck is going on, guys? And you know, the
Luffy turned into the mask, apparently.
Bro, you dead on. And I'm watching this and I'm not impressed. I kid you not. I was almost upset. I was like, yo, we waited this long for him to turn into freaking Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes and Acme. You know, like I don't get it. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna rewatch this. And I went on the internet and I'm looking at people talking and discussing it, and they're hyped still. And I'm like, I want to slap all of y'all right now. Every single one. I just want to go like, wake up. This is not cool. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. This has been Luffy the entire time. That he's always been a goofy, silly. His powers have been like, I didn't like his powers at first. Like, they became cool to me the more I watched them. And then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, Oda's been planning this from the freaking jump. Then you think about it. Who is the most invincible character in all of animation? It's like Wile E. Coyote, right? He gets his anus whipped all the time by the Roadrunner. He's getting anvils dropped on, and what have his eyes pop out? He's still invincible. He doesn't die. That's Luffy's power. He's invincible. He's transcended your normal power up. He's went into a realm where no matter what you do to him, it's funny to him because that's what you did when you looked at Wile E. Coyote get hit with an anvil. You laughed your ass off. And that's what he's doing. He's like, no matter what you do, bro, you shot a big ass laser blast at me, I'm gonna just pick up the ground and bounce it back at you. Like, and when I watched it the second time, I watched it in amazement. I was like, this dude Oda is a freaking monster. Literally put Luffy in a category. Like, everybody was like last week, all on the internet, Gear 5 versus Ultra Instinct. Who wins? I'm like, Gear 5 will get bodied by the Ultra Instinct. I don't care how much he power. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, this dude literally just outwrote Goku. How do you outright Goku, the master of ass pulls, by giving him the ultimate ass pull, which he's had since day one? If you watch the episode and you watch the world government discussing this power, they explain it to you, right? You don't understand what they're talking about, but if you look at it, they already called it a mythical fruit, which it's never been called a mythical fruit. The fruit has a name beyond Gum Gum, which is Nika God, which was the guy who had the fruit before Luffy, right? So, and they said the fruit has a mind of its own. It can transform the user into whatever he wants to become. It's a ridiculous power. And I'm just like, they set my ass all the way up, bro. I don't know how I feel going forward. Like, cause I'm like, bro, Oda wrote the biggest ass pull ever. Like, I don't see an anime character aside from Wile E. Coyote, that can even contend with Luffy right now because his power is dumb. It's not like it's just a stupid power. Like, bro, if I punch you, yes, my eyeballs pop out, but I can use those eyeballs to waka to your face or something stupid like that. You hit me in the back of the head with a mallet, yeah, my nose just poked out, but I can stretch my nose and make it go in your ear and give you a wedgie. Like, wait, what? Yes, that's how stupid his power is, bro. But in context of One Piece, it makes perfect damn sense. And I take back my original thoughts about how stupid this is, because it's definitely stupid, but it's also ingenious at the same time. So kudos. Suki, take the floor, please.
So here's the thing. It's not so much an ask for a retcon because it has been set up all the way back then.
It has.
And especially if you paid attention in Skypiea, it was dropped then too. In fact, Skypiea is even more important now that the Joy Boy reveal has happened. So anyone who skipped Skypiea is
Geo.
kind of...
Okay.
But Oda was once interviewed and asked, out of all the things you could do for like all the anime powers that everyone has, why the hell would you pick rubber? And he said it is the most ridiculous power. And it would be funny. And like I said, when I showed you that Tom and Jerry thing of Luffy blowing into his fist, and it matched with
Tom doing the same, Jerry doing the same.
It's like
thing.
It makes so much more sense when you look at Luffy's powers because it's always been there. Back in Alabasta, when he's poked full of holes, and he's like, "I'm water, Luffy," and then he leaks. He's like, "I'm leaking." Like, that's pure Saturday morning cartoon.
But you never, because it was. See, Oda smart because he did those in situations where it was actually serious situations, and you're thinking to yourself, watching this is just some comic relief to break the tension because this is a serious situation. But with the Gear 5 thing, it's just like, now we're taking the veil all the way off. This is actually what it is. And
here's the thing: Gear 5 is not like Luffy's like supreme god mode, has Toon Force, can now like summon things from hammer space and whatever. Like, that's not how it works.
No, he's the one that's getting hit with the anvils. He's the Wile E. Coyote. He's the, you know what I mean? The time of the Tom and Jerry's. He's not taking a hammer and getting and smashing. He's the one who, if you hit me with a hammer, nothing's going to really make of that. You know what I mean? Because
he still gets hurt. It still happens. I know, like, from what the little we've seen, Kaido, pretty much just got his butt kicked. That fight continues, and he does get some blows in. So, like, Luffy is not like some supreme being with just unstoppable now. Goku can still wipe him. I don't care what anyone says. Like,
I don't see it. I can't see
the
it.
The One Piece universe is not universal. Whereas Goku is fighting in like multi-universal levels.
But One Piece isn't Earth either. The planet that they're on isn't Earth.
No, it's a lot bigger than Earth.
Yeah, you got to look at it like that. Goku is fighting people based on what we know as Earthlings. Their universe, for one, they have multiple different kinds of races on that one planet. Everyone speaks the same language. It's not like, you go across this island and they're speaking Japanese. No, everybody speaks the exact same language. Everyone understands each other. So to me, that makes his world different. There's no need for aliens from outer space because you got long necks, you got long arms, you have giants, you got fish people, you got what do you call the people from the zoo, from
the minks?
The minks. You've got minks, you got all of these different races.
You can make an RPG with like all the different races.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So their universes aren't comparable. Like, people always say, well, you can compare Superman and Goku because, Krillin could literally take out Superman. He's stronger than your average, yada, 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 yada. But you can't do that with One Piece because they're not human. I mean, they literally say Krillin can take out Superman. He's that much. I'm like,
Jay Krillin's about to go off right now.
That's not what I see. I'm like, That's what the common consensus is. If you look at a normal human from Superman's world, right, and you look at Krillin, he completely outclasses your Batmans, your Mr. Terrifics, he's literally he's a god to them. He's a Superman. You know what I mean? So like they people are saying that Krillin could knock Superman out the park, and I'm just like, oh wow, y'all reaching. But
what I love so much about Gear 5 is, as you said, it fits so perfectly thematically with the story of One Piece. And it's like it's always been there.
What do you say to people
it's the warrior of liberation? Luffy
what do you say
was
to
dialed
people
to 11?
What do you say to people who were expecting your typical shonen power up? Because that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a shonen power. I mean, that's what Gear 4 was. That's what Snake Man was. That's what Tank Man was.
Actually, you weren't around for the reveal of Gear 4. The community was in an outrage over Gear 4 because of how goofy and silly it looked. Because everyone was expecting that like Snake Man type power up. Like Snake Man is more of the power up that people expected Gear 4 to look like.
Right.
So when Gear 4 first came out, there was some outrage in the community because I can't believe Oda did that. It's so goofy looking. And again, it's Oda. And Oda made a statement shortly after Gear 5 because it was very controversial, obviously, as we're seeing. And he said, I understand that people might not like this, and they may even quit, and that's fine, but I've been wanting to do this. Like, I have been wanting to draw this for so long. So to finally get to do that, he's ecstatic. And reading chapter to chapter and seeing where the story is going, like, I swear I can see Oda's smile through the pages now because he also has been liberated. He no longer has to hold back. He's like, okay, here we go. Gloves are off. Curtain is revealed. This is what it was.
It's just... I can see a lot of people being turned off by it.
For sure.
Like for me, I'm someone who has to understand what the hell I'm looking at, and that's why I rewatched it again without any expectations. I had so many expectations. Gear 5 was hyped up. Oh, it's better than Ultra Instinct. It's better than the Five Tails. Or I don't watch no, so I can't.
The fandom is weird.
Right. And I'm like, okay, cool. It got me hyped and. Old Head Gaming. Shout out to Old Head Gaming. Old Head Gaming was like,
he does
bro,
not like it.
It sucks. I'm like, how can a power up suck? And I didn't understand. He didn't want to spoil it for me. You know what I mean? Which I mad respect for him for that.
Yeah.
And actually, mad respect to the fandom who actually knew exactly what it was and didn't say a damn thing.
I had several come into my chat and they're like, I already know what it looks like. I said, that's all you know. You know what it looks like. Mm-hmm. You have no clue what you're about to see. Because when I was reading it, I was like, okay, I know what it looks like. Oh, it looks pretty cool. And then watching it, I was like, what the hell just happened? And I had like the biggest smile on my face. It was just, I felt like a kid again watching a cartoon. It was so fun. And Flex pointed out, we were watching together in the chat, and we were just laughing the entire time. Like, it was... Luffy's laughter is so infectious in all those clips.
It made me mad. Suki, watching it the first time, I was upset. I was like, dude, it's not that funny. It's really not that damn funny.
What about the second time, though?
The second time, it made sense why he was laughing. He was laughing. I didn't know he was laughing at himself the whole time. When he first stands up and his legs are wobbly and stuff, he's like, I can even stand up. Like, I should... He's telling himself, he's like, dude, I should not be able to walk right now.
Yeah,
wait a minute, I can fight?
He was power drunk. He was like, you see like the sadistic laughter where he's like maniacal almost. Like it's unhinged Luffy. And
have any of you guys seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
That's what that transformation reminded me of. Literally.
What, like, Judge Doom?
No, Roger Rabbit.
Oh, just Roger himself. Okay.
Yeah, you know how Roger was literally the epitome of Disney and WB, right? He was like both Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny put into one character, right?
Yeah.
But he also had the characteristics of Wile E. Coyote. So when you hit him on the head with the anvil, what would happen? His eyes would pop out, his tongue would all of that stuff. That's exactly what Luffy was. He would do the run in the air, the whole fast.
You haven't seen anything yet. Oh my god.
It's literally Roger Rabbit, bro. And like watching it the first time, not knowing that's what you were about to get, it could be a huge turnoff. Like for me, if I wouldn't have watched it the second time, last night would have probably been my last episode of One Piece, to be honest with you. I was not impressed with Gear 5 at all. Like, I'm like, I just watched, My Hero Academia. I just watched Bleach where, they're bankaiing and it's vicious, it's crazy. I watched Dragon Ball where Vegeta just hit, not Vegeta, but Gohan just hit beast mode or whatnot. And I'm like, that's what I was expecting. Oda was like,
in true Oda fashion, he's like, all shonen go this way. Nah, I'm gonna go this way.
Do you think the fans are going to I'm not gonna say fans. I'm gonna say the casual watchers.
I have 2 friends who have quit One Piece because of it. Like they're I was like, so you're gonna get 1,000-something episodes in. You've seen all the zaniness Luffy has already done, and this is where you draw the line.
That's crazy. I could see it though. I could see them losing a lot of people.
I get it, but like, what was it supposed to be? Like, would you just want it to be like Super Saiyan, like Luffy?
That's kind of yes. That's kind of what I was expecting. I was expecting him to be powered up with no limitations. Like he has limitations on his Gear 5, his Gear 4. You know what I mean? He can only do it for so long, and it drains his high key and stuff. I was expecting him to be able to use high key, use conquerors, and his flexibility with no issues. Was what I was thinking. I was like, that'll be a perfect form for him. He can literally just go all the frick out, no worries at all, without having to worry about that. I can only do this for 5 minutes, and then I'm out for 10 minutes. I was expecting him to be that hero that people could fall back on when, but it just turned into something that I wasn't expecting. Like I had no clue he was about to turn into a Looney Tune. And his animation in comparison to everything else around him, it's perfect for that. But as a shonen watcher, you're like, he looks flat in comparison to Kaido, who looks 3D. And I was like, frick, that's exactly what those cartoons look like as a kid.
Later on, Kaido actually commented on it in the manga. He's like, what the hell is going on here? He looks like something from a picture book. And
right.
The way like they have like Luffy like looking like he looks maniacal. It looks like very uneasy. Like this does not belong in this world. And that was the anime nailed that.
I didn't get it at first though. You know what I mean? You got to understand it. I didn't totally understand
Like I knew going in, like, because everyone was asking me like, oh my god, Gear 5, like I'm so excited because it looks so cool. And I'm like, I wonder who's gonna be mad at me later on and who's not.
You're right. He does not look like he belongs on the same screen with Kaido. Like when he first wakes up, he's like halfway Toon, halfway One Piece universe, right?
Yeah.
Then he does that power up thing where his eyes turn red, his body goes into a shadow, and his clothes turn from red and blue to white. And when he comes back, he's not. He looks 2D in comparison to everything around him. But everything he touches turns 2D while he's touching it. I'm just like, wait a minute. What the?
Awakenings affect the environment.
I got that from watching his fight with Big Mom's son.
Big Mom
and watching his fight with Dolphy. I was like, okay. So see, that's what I was expecting. You know, I was expecting him.
That's what everyone was expecting. That's what when that panel first dropped in the manga of like him knocked out, and you see like the goo, and it's like Joy Boy has returned. There were so many videos of like, oh my god, he has like the resin fruit. Like Luffy has resin. It makes so much sense. Or things like that. No one was like Toon Force.
Oh my god.
There were so many videos of like Monkey God Luffy with like he has the staff for the Monkey King because everything goes back to Journey of the West.
Every fan art of Gear 5 I've seen, Luffy's got the Goku Naruto face. He's like, this dude is literally smiling and laughing. And there's not one time he looks at Kaido with a mean face. He's got too much joy in his heart. You know what I mean? Like his heart is bouncing. He even says that he's like, my heartbeat is a little irregular,
my
but
heartbeat feels different.
Because it's a bouncing heartbeat now. His heart is even like a cartoon, like the dum. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on to Spider-Man 2? And that's literally like a short segment, and we'll let Jay Kun have the floor with a little bit of Evo and some Mortal Kombat.
No, I'm good.
I would say if you watched Gear 5 last night and did not like it, watch it without going into it thinking it's a Dragon Ball, Naruto, My Hero Academia power-up, because it's
Oda
not.
does his own thing.
It's not. All right. Let's get on into Spider-Man 2 right about now. We don't even need a commercial. Spider-Man 2. Let me bring my co-host back to the top. How you doing, sir? I missed you. How you been?
Hey, I'm good.
4 playable characters, bro. Spider-Man 2.
Wait,
I didn't even realize this. We had 3 playable characters in Spider-Man 1. Like, when you think about it, it's Miles, Mary Jane, and Peter.
Yep.
And Miles Morales, we only got to play as Miles. We didn't get any side missions because people were not really feeling the Mary Jane missions. They didn't mind the Miles missions, but the Mary Jane missions, for some reason, just really...
Miles wasn't... You run into Miles, and then it's like, here's what Miles was doing 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Right.
A cutscene would have solved all that.
You're right. I know. I'm replaying Spider-Man Remastered right now, and I wish I could just skip through the Mary Jane missions. And they're not long, especially if you know them and know when to go. And they're actually pretty fast.
They're not long. They're like 5 minutes of gameplay. A cutscene would have been fine.
But in this game, I'm sorry, Suki got me rolling right now, yo.
Okay, run into her. Run into her. Take like all your momentum. You're like, I'm really enjoying this Spider-Man game. Hold on, stop.
Right. That's what I hate
Calm
about
yourself.
It.
All that momentum gone. Look, you ran into MJ. Here's what she did 5 minutes earlier.
Why?
Will she survive?
I mean, she's here, but anyway, this game seems to going to be 4 players, which Miles Morales, Peter Parker, returning Mary Jane Watson, because we saw her hiding from Peter Parker, and I don't think they would close up a cutscene unless Suki's right, just make it a cutscene. But it looks like we're going to be having some more Mary Jane stealth missions, and we look like we're going to be able to play as the man himself, Mr. Venom. Now, which version of Venom? Because Venom always had multiple hosts. It could be Harry Osborn, it could be Peter Parker, it could be whomever. I'm not sure, but it definitely, from that trailer, looks like we're going to play as Venom. Do you agree with us, Suki, on that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Who do you think Venom is? I don't think I've asked you.
I want to say Harry.
Me and J. Kun Prime are definitely on the same boat with that. Chat, I know I ask y'all this at least once a week, but I'm not doing that, J. Cool.
Do it.
Chat. Who is Harry? Who is Harry Osborn? Who is Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2? Let me know in the chat who y'all think Venom is. Harry, Peter, Norman. Some people saying Craven. Some people saying Mary Jane has got a buff job going on, and she is Venom. So y'all let me know in the chat who do y'all think. Free roam. Do you think we'll be able to play Venom in free roam once the game is over? J. Cone Prime.
Yeah.
Really?
We will. Yeah, I think so. Because I don't think Venom is going to die at the end of this.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get you on for a whole video on that note. Suki, free roam Venom.
I feel J. Kun is right. Like, and I love Insomniac. They're one of my favorite game developers. It's kind of why I was disappointed with Spider-Man, because it doesn't feel like an Insomniac game. It just feels like every other Spider-Man game to me. But they do a very good job on the story, and they're definitely not going to kill off Venom. They have plans for Venom.
Quick question for you. Did you enjoy Miles Morales Spider-Man?
I did enjoy Miles a little bit more because there was a little bit more to like grab onto there. I wish they would have had DLC for it, because it was definitely the more enjoyable game.
Okay. Speaking of DLC, what are your DLC hopes and wishes? Suki is okay for Spider-Man 2.
Again, I love the creative side of Insomniac. They are one of my favorite developers. Resistance, Ratchet and Clank, like they always have those super creative things. They mastered the portal aspect in the newest Ratchet and Clank. I would love to have some kind of like Spider-Verse type thing like that to delve into, or even put the Spot as a villain. Make use of that portal aspect. That would be fun. Like they had that. They nailed that in Ratchet and Clank.
DLC hopes and wishes, Mr. Jacob Prime.
That is a good question. Because up until the final chapter, I didn't hate The City That Never Sleeps. Final chapter was pretty damn bad, though. I mean, anything better than that is going to be a win in my book. Like at this point, like a lot of people feel like Insomniac can do no wrong, and you doing Spider-Man, you have access to one of the world's best rogues gallery. So, I mean, stick your hand in the toy box. You're going to find something to play with.
Give us the wall.
This is my new theory. I think Superior Spider-Man is going to be like the lead off into Spider-Man 3, to be honest with you. Because just like in all the previous games, you never know. Insomniac is really good about hiding their true intentions of the game, because that whole time we were breaking down videos on Spider-Man 1, which unfortunately I was not around to do that. But those videos, you know what I mean? Nobody ever knew Doc Ock was about to be the main man of the game. You know what I mean? The main villain of the game. You dig? Yeah. Everybody was like, okay, cool. And when it happened, it came literally out of surprise. When that scene, when him coming, then you've got the entire Sinister Six whipping Peter's ass on that rooftop, and then you've got Doc Ock climbing up the wall, and you're like, oh my gosh, he really did it. You know what I mean? He turned into Doc Ock. That was a big surprise for everybody who played the game.
Yeah, they made it all about Mr. Negative.
Yes, and that's all their marketing was about, was Mr. Negative. They blew Mr. Negative up.
Like they're doing with Craven.
Which I don't think Craven is going to be the main villain of this game at all. I think Venom has more of a possibility of being a main villain than Craven at this point.
I think Venom's too obvious. I think there's going to be another
Superior Spider-Man. I think Doc Ock, who's still sick with the membrane thingy going on in the back of his neck right now, is going to find a way to either clone Peter or something like that, or take over and become the superior Spider-Man. Your thoughts on my theory, J. Coon Prime?
I could see them doing that. I don't think they'd go as far as like the whole clone process deal, but I could see them pulling exactly what they did in the comics and doing a body swap. I could definitely see that.
Your thoughts on my theory, Miss Suki? Is okay?
I think that's actually a very good theory. No,
that would be crazy. I was hoping Stardust would show up. He was supposed to be here tonight, and that's why I kind of wanted to bounce that off of with. But he didn't show up. That UK time. He's probably.
I was about to say it's probably 2 a.m. for him.
Yeah, he's probably crashed out. So One Piece, Twisted Metal, Spider-Man 2, Evo, Mr. J. Prime. You watched Evo. You normally are a participant, at least there. You're normally there, but you weren't there this year.
I am watching Evo right now.
Wow. So what's the news on Evo, bro? This is your segment.
So Evo it's not the only international event when it comes to fighting game tournaments, but it is definitely the biggest. It is the most widely known, and it has only gotten bigger. Now being acquired by Sony, being financially backed by Pokimane, of all people. A lot of absolutely insane stuff. The MK tournament was like, a lot of people tuned in to my stream to watch the Mortal Kombat finals, which was absolutely insane. It is one of those spectacles that, like, if you dig fighting games, you like watching fighting games, you owe it to yourself to go there at least once. And then on top of that, it's almost like a little mini fighting game focused E3 over at Evo, because you get a lot of gaming announcements, you get a lot of DLC reveals, game reveals. For example, just before this podcast started, Tyler Lansdowne, the community manager of NetherRealm Studios, decided to walk out onto the stage and release a Mortal Kombat 1 trailer that showcased not only the return of Reptile, but the return of Ashra from the 3D era, and a long-awaited fan favorite, Havoc, will be joining the cast of Mortal Kombat 1, the psychopath from the Chaos Realm. And I had to make a video of that immediately, like minutes before we got on.
Hey, I ain't even mad at it, dude. I am not mad at it.
And right now, Sunday is always finals day, held in Vegas in the Mandalay Bay Sports Arena. So, like, it's actually like stadium style seeing these tournaments. The day started with the top 6 for a returning game, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, a game that has not been present in almost 10 years.
There was an old game, isn't it?
Yeah. They also had an exhibition for Killer Instinct that apparently was so well received that the original dev team, who were sitting in the audience, decided to come out and went, we're going to make a new balance patch for you guys in the fall for a 10-year-old game. That's just unheard of. And let's see. After that was the Tekken Top 8, which unfortunately I did not get to catch all of. But Pakistan has now won Tekken at Evo 3 years in a row, which is absolutely insane. And the Guilty Gear Strive Top 6 is going on right now with Street Fighter 6 to round out the night. It's absolutely insane. I love Evo so much.
Speaking of games, Immortals of Avium, that's my game that's coming out, I think this month sometime. Bro, how does nobody know about this game? Like,
first time hearing.
See, that's a damn shame. Like, it's like Doctor Strange meets I don't know, like almost Call of Duty, but it's a single player game, open world. Like, I guess maybe Doctor Strange meets Outriders, and it looks awesome as hell. But like the promotion on it is really bad. Like, the actual account will go to tweet something, and I look at it, and it's only got like 14 15 likes and retweets on it. And I'm like, and like actually, that's just the likes. It's maybe one retweet from somebody that works for Immortals of Avium. I'm just like, how
A random guy from the QA team, just
right?
like
And it's doing Avengers numbers.
No,
Damn.
Avengers actually used to get numbers when they would tweet something out. A lot of haters, but with quote tweets, but at least it had that. This game is nobody's talking about it at all. Like
speaking of the game that shall not be named, I want to give a personal shout out to good old Andy Wong, who is currently at Evo because he is part of the dev team for Street Fighter 6.
Yes.
and he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
So like Immortals of Avium looks like a dope ass game, bro.
I'll have to look into it.
I'm about to play the trailer real quick. Give me 1 second to set it up. It looks dope as hell, but nobody has heard of this game, and it's funny as hell. To me, it seems like the promotional team just don't give a damn. Like, okay, yeah, we just need to get this out, and I'm like, the game looks too damn good to just be putting out. You know what I mean? Like, it looks awesome. It's like I said, like the Doctor Strange versus meets Outriders or something like that.
Outriders was slept on.
It's the hand.
Follow, but do not engage.
Oops. Did I pause it? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, sure did.
Maybe engage a little.
Like this shit, like this don't look entertaining. Like you would have a blast doing it. This looks awesome to me.
Man, I always wanted to play an FPS that had the frame rate of a slideshow.
And Kirkin seems to think you might not get me killed.
It looks like Doom with the
Oh damn!
Oh boy.
The last immortal.
Rosharnians haven't had enough yet.
We haven't given them enough yet.
Your men killed my family. Don't turn your back on me!
I don't think I've seen this trailer. This actually looks even better than the one I watched.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. It kind of reminds me of like a Dungeons and Dragons version of a game that I played last year called Ghostwire Tokyo. Because it has a lot of the whole first person perspective, dealt a lot with magic, and like all your projectiles and stuff like that were various like hand configurations. So I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's, for me personally, it's probably just one of those games that is unfortunately just going to fly under the radar because I have so many other things on the radar currently.
So you think it's more or less you've got Spider-Man dropping, you've got MK1 dropping, Street Fighter just dropped. You still
RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's just
there's
much
just too many.
heat. It's too much heat in the kitchen, yo.
Yeah.
Suki, does that game interest you at all? This is your first time even seeing it.
I mean, it looks good, but like I check out when I see a shooter at this point. Like every game seems like they're like, here's another shooter, and it's like I'm so tired of shooters.
Says the person that is constantly playing Musous.
Playing what?
Musous, Dynasty Warrior style games.
Muso?
Whichever. You obviously know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Gear 5 is coming to Pirate Warriors, okay? I gotta get ready.
Right, yo, I cannot.
They resurrected that game. That game hasn't had DLC since 2020. And they're like, hey, look, DLC pack in 2023.
Is RoboCop on your radar? I mean, it's a shooter, Suki.
If I say anything, J. Kun might hurt me, so I'm...
Damn! Chat, y'all playing RoboCop? I think I gotta get RoboCop just because I'm old and that's nostalgic for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Go ahead, Suki.
If it's a co-op shooter, I would likely play it. I get bored on my own if I'm playing a shooter.
Honestly, I would say if you're on the fence about it, because this is made by the same group that did Terminator Resistance, so it's kind of like first person. Think of it almost like Fallout Light. Not as in depth as Fallout, but has those RPG elements, and it's mainly driven by the narrative. The last game they did was called Terminator Resistance, and it takes place solely in the future war realm of Terminator. So if you're iffy about RoboCop, try that.
What else is we talking about? Oh, games that you're looking forward to coming out relatively soon. Is there anything that's on the radar for you right now, Suki?
I've got my DLC for Pirate Warriors stuff.
That's about it?
Literally all I'm looking forward to right now.
Damn. J. Kun Prime, anything aside from MK1?
So one of my community was kind enough to bless me with a early birthday present, since my birthday is in about 2 weeks or so. I finally gave Remnant 2 a try.
Is that okay?
Do you like Soulsborne games?
I don't know if I play Soulsborne games.
Like, have you ever played Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Elden Ring?
Never.
It's Outriders with that kind of difficulty, with a little bit of roguelite mixed into it. It's honestly not bad, but it's definitely one of those games where, okay, you know how Jedi Fallen Order was?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like that, where like enemies are not pushovers. They will mop you in a couple hits if you're not careful. And there are checkpoints and everything aplenty. But if you use them, all the enemies are going to respawn. It's one of those. And like it's not bad. And you'll generally
That's multiplayer though, right?
It is co-op, yes. So you can play with a friend, and you will instantly get me on board if there is a character class you can be that allows you to have an animal with you. And there's one, I think it's called the Tracker, and you get a dog, and the dog will go fight with you. And it hasn't been bad. Like, I'm not super deep into it yet, but the anti-Soulsborne person that I tend to be, pretty good.
So is it anything like Diablo?
No, think more like Outriders.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been playing the hell out of Outriders too. But I've been also on my Spider-Man kick. I'm going from Spider-Man to Miles Morales. I was supposed to be playing Horizon Forbidden West, but that damn Spider-Man remastered. That's got a hold on me, bro. Like,
oh, wait. I got the perfect descriptor for Remnant 2, since you are playing Outriders. Remnant 2 is Outriders if World Tier 12 was the default difficulty.
Bro, I have trouble on World Tier 4, so yeah, I'm good. That is so not for me. Like, I stick with World Tier 3 and I play on that, because everything else, if you don't have a teammate with you, and that shit is difficult, sir.
This just in from Evo. Leffen of Super Smash Brothers fame is your 2023 Guilty Gear Strive Evo champion.
Congratulations, whatever name you just said, because I couldn't hear it. But my birthday is in freaking 4 days, y'all. August 10th.
August 17th for me.
I don't even know if I want anything. I'm not doing nothing for my birthday.
I'm working.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I didn't even take the day off because I just feel old right now, man. Like, yo, don't celebrate that. Just let me live, yo. I don't need the balloons.
What are you doing for your birthday, Jay? I'm going to work and then probably playing the Mortal Kombat 1 beta. That's pretty much all I have planned. I might go see Blue Beetle too.
Speaking of betas, Payday 3. Anybody jump on that?
Nah, no interest.
Me either at all.
Yeah.
I never played any of the beta stuff.
Yeah. You know what they need to come out with is a what's the name of that damn game? I can't even think of the name of it now. The last one was Second Son.
Infamous.
They need to do that.
I love Infamous.
They need to. I would love an Infamous.
I would happily play another Infamous.
We need that in our. Let's start a petition for Infamous 4 or whatever one we need to get out because I liked that one.
There are 3 PlayStation games that I would love to return: Infamous, Resistance, and Killzone. And that's all I would stream.
Oh, real quick though, I'm glad you said that, but it has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but it just reminded me of it for some reason. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. Like, why is that killing it right now?
I haven't seen it. I want to.
I did not want to see it. I didn't think I would be interested, but I actually like with the reviews and how people are saying is you'll like it, and Master Splinter is like the shit in this movie. Like, you seen it yet, Jay?
No, but I may be going to see it this week. I think it's doing as well as it is because it's being headed by Seth Rogen. And Seth Rogen has proven that he has not only acting chops, but writing and director chops as well. Like, I mean, look no further than the Steve Jobs movie. You know he can act his way out of practically anything. And I think because, and like he even jokingly said, from permanent teenager Seth Rogen, he understands what this franchise needs to be. And it needs to be something that is very akin to the very first live action movie, where there is something there for every audience. And from what I keep hearing, he has done exactly that. Plus, big shout outs to the fact that the Turtles, for the first time, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they actually sound like teenagers.
Well, they got actual teenagers.
Yeah, so like it's about time. It only took 30 years. I mean,
yeah. Mike always sounded like a teenager to me, especially like that first iteration of the Turtles. But like Leo and Don always sounded like they were 30 years old. Every damn show that they ever made, yo.
It really didn't help matters. The Michael Bay, the first Michael Bay film, Leonardo was voiced by Johnny Knoxville of all people, and it's like that's your idea of a teenage voice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. All right, Suki, tell people where they can find you at. Like, put yourself on a map.
At SukiOK on Twitter, and then on twitchtv.SukiOK because I lost my YouTube channel. So
I forgot about that. The whole Oda, not Oda, but we got Shueisha strike.
Yeah, Shueisha. They did a copyright strike one after another on the same day because they're supposed to give you time, I'm told, and they did not. They're like, copyright strike, copyright strike, copyright strike, lost your channel.
Damn. Oh, Shueisha don't play. I don't. Yeah, I stopped covering One Piece on my main channel for real.
I didn't even have 200 followers. I don't even know why they were like, this is a threat.
I don't know either. It's crazy because there's like channels with 500K subscribers that post literal the manga.
That will post like the full scenes that I had that I talked about for a minute, and that was it.
Yeah, it was a wrap. Jay Coon, put yourself on the map, good sir.
Hi. You can find me at Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and Kick at JCoon Prime. And while you're at it, also follow my second YouTube channel that is primarily based on long plays and let's plays at Prime Plays.
Prime Plays. I'm not subscribed to that one yet. I got to go ahead and do that myself.
Yeah,
y'all know where y'all can find me at because y'all wouldn't be here if y'all didn't know where to find me at. But if you have not hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all were here rocking with the best. And we Greatly appreciate that over here at DSG. So thank you guys, man. From Holder Gamer to Never Flow, Misplaced was in the building. Candido Green, goodness gracious, Obey 477, Dante Detsu, Marshall, just so many of you guys. I personally greatly appreciate you guys coming through. It makes me feel good to not just be talking to myself and to my co-hosts and guests, you know what I mean? So thank y'all for tuning in. Find us here every Sunday, 5 o'clock p.m., talking about the weekly stuff that's been going on. Like this week was pretty good. We had Wonder Woman, Superman, Spider-Man 2, Twisted Metal, One Piece, Evo, and everything else we talked about. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. With all of that said, laissez le bon temps rouler, which means let the good times roll. Peace out, people.
What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkill HD. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. Let's go! It's the weekly wrap up where we give you the news, break it down bite size so it's easier to consume. Discussing the hottest game and thought of what's coming soon. Is it real or is rumor? Homie, that's up to you. Fire or trash reaction, live viewers call in. No cap conversation, we going all in. It's the weekly wrap up, so enjoy the show. You're now rocking with the best. Let the good times roll.